Hi, this is Julie from Rider University's Backstage Story, and I'm here with Tyler Hilton.
Hey.
Um, First of all, I saw online that you do a lot of really great stuff with your fans, including setting up phone numbers and the whole recipe thing. Do you want to talk about some of those things and why you do them?
I guess I should do them because just the idea kind of comes to me when I'm bored, and it just kind of sounds like a fun idea. Like the phone number thing, I was just kind of like we were driving on between some of the dates on the tour, and everyone in the van was asleep, and I was like reading some of the Twitter responses, and I was like, I wonder if I should just call some people and just say hi, And it really worked, and so we did that once, and then the record label set up a phone number for fans to call so I could do that more often because it was really fun. And the recipe thing is the same way. Just I think that there's still a part of me that kind of still thinks it's hysterical that I have fans, and it's like this whole thing's like worked, and so it's kind of like this thing that like thing like what would you do if you had fans, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I guess it'd be fun to do this, And so with the recipe thing too, like I just started loving cooking, and I started thinking, I don't know, what if like my fans would? I really like my fans. They're all like really cool, and I have fun with them. So it's just like I kind of like doing things with them. I don't know, it's cool. I like it.
To get to play Elvis as one of your first acting roles?
Well, it was killer. I mean, I was such a fan of Elvis when I was a kid, and I just remember just thinking like that I was kind of too nervous to take on the part because I was so into it. And I thought, oh, this has got to be done by a professional, and this is got to be done by somebody who really knows how to do it. But they didn't want a professional. They just wanted a musician to do it. Somebody who hadn't acted before. And I was a huge Elvis fan, so it kind of worked. But I couldn't believe it. I mean, still to this day, because I always get asked about that movie or whatever, I keep thinking it's so cool that people know that I played Elvis because I'm such a fan. Like I get to be kind of part of his story in some little way,
It's my heart that's breathing through my frozen heart tonight. Your name in certain circles, it always makes me smile. I spend my time just thinking about you, and it's almost driving me wild. But it's my heart that's breaking down this long distance line tonight, and I'm missing you.
Was the music you played on One Tree Hill, was that your music, or was it music that was written for the show?
It was all my music. The only song, I did a couple covers on the show, though, and one of them was Missing You, which I recorded for one of the soundtracks, and the other one was a Ryan Adams song, When the Stars Go Blue, that I recorded with another girl on the show, Bethany Joy Gagliotti. And so those are the only two but I really liked those songs, but the other ones, they let me play all my own songs on the show, so.
Cool. Was the part written with all the musical stuff in it, or once they realized that you could sing and play guitar, did they kind of put that in?
No, they were actually looking for a musician, and there's actually two musicians that are kind of they were like kind of well known that they were thinking about. They were thinking about a lot of actually like musicians for the part. They wanted somebody. The creators wanted not an actor. They wanted a musician or whatever. And they just wanted him to come on for a couple episodes and sing a couple songs and be done. And there really weren't any age requirements. I think when I first got the part, it was like supposed to be like a 35-year-old record store owner, and then someone at my record company, I guess, just said, he was just walk the line, maybe he could try out, and we ended up getting along really well, the creators and I. And even though they kind of wrote the part a certain way after a few episodes, just because of all the joking around we did and stuff, I think they started kind of writing the part. The character kind of developed as we went on,
Cruising down my own street, empty sesame says, hang on to your best, take you
are some of your favorite bands or singers right now?
You know, growing up, I really liked. I mean, besides Elvis, like I loved like Frank Sinatra, and I really liked old blues music, like Robert Johnson or Muddy Waters, like that kind of stuff. I loved. Now, you know, there isn't like one person like right now who I'm like listening to all the time, because it's weird since like iPods started kind of taking over. I've kind of fallen into not listening to whole records, but listening to just kind of songs I like, you know. So like I think the last artist that I was like listening to a lot was like last year I was listening to Kings of Leon a lot. I really like Vampire Weekend. I really got back into Elliott Smith again. But it's weird. I find the kind of bands that I like to listen to their whole record aren't the kind of bands that are the kind of songs I like to write. You know, songs I just like taking my favorite songs from different bands, and that ends up being my kind of style of music. But sometimes I just like get into like a band's vibe, like I get into a movie or something. You know, like I don't sound anything like Vampire Weekend, but I'm like fascinated by it. I'm like, wow, this band is so cool. Or like when I was in Nashville, I got into Kings of Leon because I don't think their new record was even out yet. It was just their whole vibe and just being a kind of a rock band from down there. Like I really was interested in that, you know. And actually, not even to be cheesy, but actually the bands I'm really liking right now, which isn't always the case when I'm on the road, are the bands that are on the road. I've gotten all the bands CDs, and like it's weird. It's like been influencing how I've been writing. It's been like I love it. I love all the bands on the road right now. I really do.
I saw that you covered "Use Somebody."
Yeah.
Were you kind of nervous when you did that because it's such like a huge song?
No, because I covered it before it was out. I think I don't even know if the record had been out yet when I covered it. I got an advance copy of the record, and that would have been my favorite song. And I just covered it for fun, and then the song became huge. So it was like really cool, you know.
Yeah, there's lots of covers out there now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's like such a good song.
Yeah. It's one of those songs that you don't really get sick of, and I'm sure they get sick of it because it's played over and over and over and over. But
Totally.
it's a good song.
I love it, yeah.
I come from the desert, man. The sun's the only hazard. I spend my days wondering why nothing seemed to matter. So I went to the city, the smarter and the faster. With a date opportunity, but it takes cash to impress her. Not that girl. No nights of shoes and wants to live by the sea. She don't talk much, that's all she got me. I said, something about it. Baby, walk with me, sunset boulevard. We'll watch